Hello everyone, Anne here from the Creation Station. Hope you're all having a great week. Sorry we didn't see you, but we have got something fun for you to do. Now remember last week we were looking at this sculptor called Antony Gormley. We are concentrating again on him, but doing things in a different way. So we had a look through a lot of pictures last week and looked at big sculptures, remember, like the statues, the Angel of the North, and crazy sort of textures and techniques like this, like that, my favorite kind of weird one. And then he starts looking at people in places, and there's lots on beaches, and then he gets even stranger to have all these kind of people in different poses. But we're concentrating on this fun one today. Look at all these things. They're tiny, tiny little clay models in a museum. So they're all placed in different places, and they're called Field of Dreams. Now look how many there are in the end. Whoa! Look at that. I'll hold it still so you can see all those faces looking up. So they're ginormous. They're ginormous. And here's them in the room. And this is a bit of a close-up. So we're concentrating on that. So obviously we're going to work in 3D to make it stand up. So let's have a look what's in the bag. And I'll tell you a couple of other things you need. So we've got a bit full today. We have got some black card. We have got some Play-Doh. We have got hopefully 2 chalk pastels if they survive the journey. And we have got a couple of pipe cleaners, okay? So I'm going to work through this with you, and I've just realised I didn't bring my scissors upstairs. So I'm just going to dive over to this side where I've got some, hopefully, at the side of me here. So I'll keep talking to you. So you're going to need some scissors. You're going to need some sellotape. But other than that, everything is here that you need, okay? Now, because you're going to be working with some Play-Doh in this make, best not to be in somewhere like working on the floor with a carpet. Best to be in the kitchen, maybe on the table, or somewhere that can be wiped, because it can stain Play-Doh, and obviously things like the chalk pastels as well. You know, if you accidentally break one, they can be a bit annoying. So we are now going to make a little home for our people, and you'll see on the card that I've marked some lines for you, okay? So you need to cut down, I've got not very good scissors because I've just grabbed the nearest pair, which are a pair of nail scissors. So you need to work down your lines and cut those pieces out. Now I'm hoping, because you're all quite good eco warriors, that you're going to save these bits that you cut out and don't need. So that's the first bit, cut off there. So I'm going to save that. I don't need it for my make, but I'm hoping that some of you will think of some ideas for these other pieces. So going all the way down my lines, not very neatly, you'll be better than me. And I'll have quite a big piece of card at the end of it. And then you should have a shape that eventually we're going to make into a home. So that's the shape there. Those pieces are missing. Okay, now before you make the home for the little people, which will look a bit like this, you need to put some decoration and colour onto that. Okay, it's a bit bland and boring. So with the pastels, some of you have used them before, but the great thing with pastels is they provide really good colour. Mine's not going to be amazing. Just show you the technique. Really good colour, but you can also use your finger to smudge them in, and you can also use colours over the top of each other. So any kind of pattern, blended lines, some nice colour, okay, all over, go wild. You may not want to put some colour on what will be the base. So if I show you mine here, that's going to be a bit the base, and those are the 2 sides. So there's a long side and a short side, and then there's a long bit for the base. The reason being, it's a bit powdery, and if you put the little Play-Doh creatures here, then they kind of go a bit there, okay? So you're going to work flat, ideally with this one here and that one there. Make it abstract, colourful, crazy, whatever you like. Now the next step is to make it into 3D, and this is where you're going to need your sellotape and maybe somebody helping you. So just so you can see it on my camera, I've got some masking tape. So you are going to make kind of half a box. You can use as much tape as you want because obviously yours is going to be on the back and you won't see it. So I'm just going to quickly pop some tape on mine, but you could put some strips down here. And now, there we go, that's the right way up for mine. Now I've got a little 3D box to put my people in, okay? So, Play-Doh. As I said before, it does tend to stain, so be careful. Getting it out, especially in the winter, can be a bit of a nightmare. So if you need help, I'm sure someone at home will help you. Take the top off, and then inside you've got the Play-Doh. Now don't stick your fingers in there because it's really reluctant to come out. So my technique is I squeeze my pot all the way around to make it loose, and then you need to slam it as many times as it takes. It's coming out a bit onto the table. Okay, so I haven't got a hard surface, so mine's not coming out, but yours will. Let me just go to the side. I'll just do it here. There we go, it's coming. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm not going to model with the Play-Doh because I've got some pictures to show you, but you might find it useful to have something, if you've got that, what's it called, chopstick that I gave you last week. That's quite handy for modelling because you can actually poke that in and make the faces. Now don't choose anything too sharp to make the features. So essentially, I'll do one, even though I told you not to do it over fabric. So you're going to make little people shapes, kind of quite small, and then you can use your dabber, I'll use a nail for a smile, to create some features. They could have different expressions or the same. So I'm going to show you some of the ones done yesterday. So the first one was work in progress, but you can see there two tiny little creatures right in the corner, so they're really tiny, and you can see the beautiful pattern there with the pastels, can't you? And then this one here was pretty much finished, and I think they made 20 out of the Play-Doh. So obviously those are super zoomed in, but they're great, aren't they? Look at those. So have fun with that one, creating that, and then obviously you're going to place all your little ones in there. So that's a fun one to do, but just try and think of the materials you're using and make sure you're using them somewhere careful. So just as an extra for this week, I thought it's Valentine's Day on Monday, and I'm sure in your family and your friends you've got lots of people you love. So rather than making a card, which anyone can buy from a shop, we are going to use the 2 pipe cleaners that you've got. Now I've had to just choose random colours because I didn't know which ones you'd like. So to make a really nice Valentine's heart, which I've got here, which if you wanted, if you had some hanging ribbon at home, or you can just hook it over something, or you could even make a card from it by putting it down on some paper or card. But how to start this is you get your 2 pipe cleaners, and then this is the fun bit, I quite like this. You create the colour by twisting together. Look at my hands, twist it down, so hold it, twist it as many times as you want. The more times you twist it, the kind of closer the pattern will be. If you twist it less, you'll get quite an open design, but it doesn't take me that long to do. Just be careful, the ends are a little bit sharp, they're thin wires inside, so especially if you've got a younger brother or sister around, then don't leave that for them because it is a bit pokey to start with, and you be careful as you're twisting it. So you've made quite a nice braided shape. How I did mine, and there's lots of ways to do it, is I just connected mine together and I didn't worry what it looked like, to be honest. So I just kind of made my kind of round bit like that. So my middle bit, my end bit's there. Okay, so I started like that. And then you could look online if you can't kind of get a good heart shape. But I just literally bent it to the top bit. It's almost like the wings on a butterfly, that bit. And then I just squeezed the bottom until I got it how I wanted. But there's all sorts of different shapes of hearts on the internet. There's some quite fat hearts. Mine end up being quite long, skinny hearts, I think, naturally. So there's my 2. Okay, so hope you have fun with that. whatever happens next week, I will find something for you to do. I've got lots of ideas still, so it's not a problem. We'll still have lots of fun together. Make sure that you put all of these things back probably in your bag when you finish, or if you've got an art box at home, because you don't want them falling on the floor and getting stood on. So bits like that need to be safely packed away and everyone's happy. All right then everyone, have fun. Bye.